Hello, it's good morning from Melbourne in Australia. So I'm not quite sure how many people will be awake around the world, but I hope you enjoy this presentation from wherever you are. And please press replay, #replay if you do happen to watch this presentation. So today I'm going to talk about activating your courage. Because as speakers and presenters, we all go through stages of self-doubt, dealing with our limiting beliefs, having all those feelings of not being good enough, or all those limiting beliefs that we need to move on from. My name is Kate Hamilton and I call myself the Courage Activator. I support people in business to step out into the world and activate their courage to be seen and to be heard, and to activate your courage to shine your light, to create the expansion that you are wanting so that you can present in front of audiences. I do masterclasses, and I'm about to open up a Facebook group to support people to do these things. And what my journey has been working on activating my own courage, which is obviously what we all do to upskill. We go through our own journeys of moving beyond our limiting beliefs and evolving, expanding, and bringing into our own being what we need to put ourselves out there. My experience of activating my own courage is what I have used to promote and support other people to step up and to reach their full potential. And I've discovered there are really three key things that we need to acknowledge. We need to recognize that voice inside us that is what I call giving us a divine nudge. Now, I've had divine nudges that have been saying to me, this isn't what I want in life. I want more. I know that there's a deeper purpose that I have. I know that I'm not feeling as fulfilled as I would like to be. Then the second thing is, after recognizing that those voices are there, then you need to align with what it is that you want to do. So if you want to change, you need to then work out how to align yourself to make those changes that you are desiring. And the third thing is to implement some action. Now, if we get stuck in the alignment, or even if we get stuck with that non-ability to, or if we ignore those messages and then we don't take that action, well, then we become very disgruntled. So what I'd like to do is look at some of those fears that do hold us back. And the fears are many and varied, but they really come from our deep limiting beliefs, our core, our subconscious, those thoughts that are saying things like, you are not good enough. You might have fear of success, which is the very thing that we want to achieve and want to experience. Yet we still have fears that need to be dealt with, that we need to transform, we need to do the inner work on. We might be worried about what other people think. This has been one of my big ones. To put ourselves out on social media where everybody can see us and see our flaws and see our insecurities, and we can hold ourselves back if we're going to be afraid of those things. I know that's been one of my biggest challenges. And it's an ongoing challenge. It's not something, I don't think it's something we just necessarily get over. It's something that we need to work on. We might not think we're good enough to be doing what we're doing, even though we've got those nudges of I really want to put myself out there. We still have to do that initial dipping our toe in, and that can be such a challenge. So my expertise is to work with people who want to activate their courage, to step out, to be seen, to be heard, and to share their gifts in the world. If we do get stuck in that situation where we're holding ourselves back, we're not doing our job in the world. We're ignoring our soul. We're ignoring our passion. We can ignore all those little messages that give us I call them divine nudges. And if we ignore those divine nudges, we're going to be unhappy anyway. So it's a lose-lose, really. But really, what have we got to lose if we step out and put ourselves out there and follow our passion and dig deep into our purpose and share our gifts with the world? My mission really is to support women to move beyond their limiting situation, to step into their full potential and greatness, to move beyond the poverty or the unhappy circumstances or whatever it is that's holding you back, and to give the message that we all have a purpose. Now, I use vibrations and frequency. They are my tools that I work mostly with. So before I jumped on my live, I put on this essential oil called Valor. Now, Valor is a blend that supports us to feel calm and to feel strong, which is really what we need to do when we are going to be presenting. So before I jumped on, I got my Valor. This is a beautiful little roll-on, and I just roll it on my wrists, and I smell that beautiful smell, which goes into our limbic system of the brain. When we breathe it in, it goes into our back brain, and it goes all around our body, and it is a really good way to support your ability to release all those limiting beliefs and give you the opportunity to become transformed from all those things that hold us back. I work with the senses, and the sense of smell is one of the most powerful senses of smells. And I have a beautiful array of oils that I will use depending on what it is that I want to transform. Just to give you some example, lemon oil is a great oil to move on from the fear that you're experiencing. It's a good one to help you unpack what's going on and to help you easily move on from that. Another oil I love to use to support the sense of smell is peppermint oil, because that will give you some clarity. It will give you the ability to have a sharp mind. It helps you to wake you up, to give you the energy and to give you some clarity. What's another oil? Something like lavender oil is very calming and soothing, and it can invoke a good feeling from within, which is what we're looking for when we want to activate our courage. Another oil I like to use is frankincense, and I'll pop some frankincense on the top of my head to help get rid of all those thoughts that are coming in that are holding us back. Because if we buy into those thoughts that hold us back, we're not going to get anywhere at all. So when we work with our frequency, we can tap into our senses to support our frequency. So let's look at our sense of touch. So if you want to up level and expand where your safety parameters are currently, it's always a good idea to expand beyond our current state of being. And to do that, we need to align with a new current state of being. Our sense of touch is something that's quite powerful, just like a sense of smell. So if I want to expand where I am, I might go and buy some clothes that feel really nice, something I want to touch that gives me a warm, confirming feeling. I might choose clothes that are silky or embossed or something like that to give me a sense of greatness. Another sense is sight. So our sense of what are we looking at. So we can do things like do our vision boarding so that we have got messages around the place, or create a vision board where we can see all those things that are going to prompt us to align with what we're doing. So a lot of people know the value of vision boards and the value of having things around us that uplift our vibrations and our mindset, because if we have things around us that keep us in a low vibration, that is not going to be very supportive. So I might do things like paint a room or bring in colour. So the colours of your clothing is quite powerful. You might like to draw pictures. I actually work with energetic drawings, and I work with people. I work with colour, so that I can support you to tune into colour energies that are missing. Often we have parts of ourselves that are not expanded, and when I work with people, I can support you I hold space for you so that you can dig deep into what's going on, so that you can move beyond that limiting experience or belief. The sense of sound. Putting music on when we, if we're meditating or if we're thinking, or to create the mood and invoke the feeling that we want, something that's uplifting. If we're feeling low in energy, and a lot of people I know before presenting, they'll put music on to dance around and get that whole body experience to raise their vibrations, to create the mood and to create that upbeat feeling that we are looking for. So we've covered smell, we've covered touch, sight, auditory sense is also in there. That listening, what are we listening to? Are we listening to our thoughts? Are our thoughts negative? Are our thoughts positive? If they're negative, what are we doing to transform those things? What about our sense of taste? So if you want to step into something greater, you might think, what do people do who are already well and truly on their path? Where do they eat? What restaurants do they go to? You might like to research restaurants that you may never have been to before. You might think, I wonder if I could taste some new flavours to embody a whole new experience. So in each and everything we do, to me it's a stepping into courage, moving beyond whatever is holding us back, but moving beyond our current small containers or our small state of mind. using our sense of tuning into our hearts and our intuition, listening to those divine messages or to those little urges of inspiration. So when we get an idea, do we follow through with our idea? Do we take some action? And the action taking is where often we hold back. The taking the action is where all our fears come to the surface. When I work with someone to activate their courage, I hold space for people. I support the ability to work with your intention. And I take you into an experience, a meditation, so that you can really tune into your own answers. Often our past beliefs that we have created from childhood, from birth, we now know that it can be even pre-birth. Sometimes we can't do that for ourselves. And sometimes we need someone to facilitate and support our growth and expansion. And that's where I come in, because I hold space for people and I will support people to find the tools that they need. And I offer essential oil recommendations. I offer affirmations. I encourage people to move outside of their immediate, for want of a better word, container, or their immediate environment, to look beyond. Sometimes we need to have that mentor experience. And these days we are so lucky because there's so many mentors that we can experience. We can listen to so many podcasts. We can hop into little lives like this where people are sharing their expertise. However, sometimes we just need that one-to-one support to really dig deep into what we need to do for ourselves, because sometimes we're too close to our own situation and we all need support to move beyond it. So I like to encourage people to remove their limiting blocks so that you can step into full expansion and embody what it is that your expertise are, because we each have our own special gifts that we can bring out into the world. So aligning with our purpose is important as well. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, and when you have that deep urge to follow your why, that gives you a good sense of purpose. So my purpose is supported by me aligning with what I'm doing. I align by taking action. I align by listening to my energy and my vibration. That means to be really tuned in to what's going on in your mind. It means being really tuned into how you feel. It means creating those new thoughts and creating those new opportunities. The reason I want to activate people's courage is because I think we need positive influences in the world, and we need to work together to create a new paradigm for our community. I know that my role in life is to be a leader. That's something I didn't really embody until much later in my life. If I had aligned a lot earlier in my life with my ability, who knows where I'd be by now. But that's okay, because we all need to just follow our divine nudges. We need to take some action. We need to align with our ability to be greater than we are in each and every moment. And we need to move towards taking those actions, which just starts with one small thing. If we just align one small thing, our direction moves incredibly. And aligning in each and every one of those things that we need to do to get to the journey, to get ourselves on the road to the journey, is so important. I want to encourage you to continue to pursue your dreams. I want to encourage you to step away from holding back, to step into your magnificence, to tune into your senses, to align to your greatness, and to take the action that you need to take so that you can fulfill your dreams and become the greatest version of yourself possible. My name is Kay Hamilton, and I'm the Courage Activator. I'm not quite sure. I think I've got a few more minutes. So I'll tell you a little bit about what I did to activate my courage, because that might inspire you. I knew that I wanted to get out into the world. I knew that social media was the key. I knew doing Facebook Lives was going to expose me to a greater audience and get me into that journey of aligning with my courage and getting out there with my expertise. So I started small. I started in a small group. I have a group called Kay's Essential Oil Wisdom, where I started sharing my passion for essential oils and offer ways for people to use essential oils to raise their vibration and to create their happy, healthy lifestyle. So I just started with something in an area where I felt comfortable, and I did that for quite a few months. And then I realised that I was ready for my next transition, and I partook in some Facebook challenges which supported my journey in hopping on live and creating videos. Then I got to a stage where I felt ready to create my own Activate Your Courage TV show, which I host weekly. And that has given me the ability to meet people all around the world. It's given me the ability to have speaking opportunities with people all around the world, and my momentum is expanding. My courage is expanding. So if you feel that you haven't got the courage, it's okay. You can just take one step at a time. The very first step I encourage people to do, if they haven't stepped into, if you're just looking and you're thinking and you're not sure how to start, you can just start with your own Facebook group, put yourself in it, and you can just start exploring the mechanisms of how to post on Facebook. It's quite easy. You just do a group, you have yourself in it, and I've got one that I use before I go on lots of lives, just to make sure that my lighting's okay and to make sure that things are all right. So I usually jump into my own little live to do a test run, so I can explore my backgrounds, I can explore what I sound like, I can explore whether the voice is working. So I'd like to challenge you today, if you have not stepped into the world of doing Facebook Lives, a good place to start is with creating a group just for you, just even so you can find where the buttons are, how do I press things, how do I do this, which way do I sit, where do I sit, where does my light come in? Because each journey starts with one step, and one step can be that step that will take you in the direction that you want to go. I hope this has been helpful. Reach out if you want a private chat with me. I'd love to support you in your journey to activate your courage and give you some encouragement. Thank you very much. This is Kay Hamilton, the Courage Activator.